Okay, very good evening. Today we are going to discuss the very essential and very important topic under financial management. It is how to calculate cost of capital. It's for a layman to understand cost of capital is nothing but the rate of interest. Okay, so what will be the rate of interest for different source of funds? So before selecting any source of funds for a common man, when he wants to go for any source of fund, he will first calculate what will be the rate of interest. Even a man who is earning, the interest that pays is his efforts. Okay, so the efforts matter. So whatever the efforts he is putting in, okay, for that he must be benefited in such a way the industry likewise, or an individual if he wanted to construct an house, okay, he will find out which is the best source of fund for his constructions, whether he can go for borrowing or whether he can simply he can simply go for his own savings. So here, being an organization, the organization has to decide which will be the best source of fund for his business. First and foremost thing is it's debt finance. Okay, so normally the corporate form of business, they take more insights into this debt, various source, mainly this long-term source. So debt actually it involves it's debentures or any bank deposit, bank loans. Okay, so even in bank loans, which will be the most cheapest loan. Okay, whether is there any government incentives for the business? And based on that only, the debt factor has to be selected. So for that, they involve for raising any debt fund, they are supposed to they incur floating charges also, and they are supposed to pay interest also to the debt holders. So being the case, it is very important for any organization to stick in what will be the best source of funds. So for to calculate this cost of debt, tax also has to be taken into consideration. So I have given some formulas in the slides. We can just go through how to calculate debt. So it is before tax or after tax. So calculating the proper payment of interest is also very important. So actually we are supposed to identify the debt at the earlier point, the end point, and what will be the average rate of interest we are supposed to pay. So for to apply for cost formula also, it's more important. Okay, after tax cost of debt, why it matters means actually after paying tax, the debt owner should have some amount of money in his hand. If not, the organization cannot try to withstand in the market. If the tax rate is more for any source of fund, it will not be a good practical situation for any organization to handle this factor. So when the organization has multiple loans, they are supposed to go in with weighted average to find out what will be the average cost of capital for any organization. So it goes like that. So weighted average capital is also very important for organization to determine whether they have selected best source of fund. Okay, using this market value and yield to maturity also, YTM, it's a very common term. We can find out the value of the best source of source in the market. So whether it is a yield to maturity, whether when you just invest or borrow any money using the stepped market, so what will be the maturity value? Will the maturity value be helpful for organization to meet all the expenses? So here at last I have given an example how the step-by-step simple example of how the tax is calculated for various people. So after tax effects are also very important, and the average data that is available, the average balance that is available will determine whether the organization is progressing towards the boom situation, or whether the organization has to have to plan a better situation for better market. So comparing the cost of debt of each source of fund, they are supposed to select which will be the best source. So with this, I'm happily concluding this topic. So in conclusion, mastering of cost of debt calculation is very important for any financial management student. So thank you all for patient listening of this video.